All right, can y'all see me and hear me? Here's hoping that you can. Because this is the most cursed episode perhaps ever of Come Out to Play. Let's see. My computer demanded a reboot about 2 minutes before we went live, as they do. And when it came back up, it said I had no internet. So I had to reboot every router in the house, reboot the machine again. In the process of doing that, I had to plug and unplug the LAN cable from the back of my computer, which led to breaking not one, but both of my monitor cords. They're those weird ones. For some reason, this computer it doesn't have the VGA. It doesn't have the HDMI. It has that weird one that is almost like an HDMI, which basically they're designed to break. So both of those broke. So I've lost my secondary monitor, so I don't have the script up. Delvin's internet went down right before we clicked live, and he's still not back yet. So that now you're caught up to where we are right now. It's been a thing. I think Delvin's coming in, and yeah, this whole thing can suck it. And who's Delvin? I just explained to them everything that happened to us. At some point, I think I stepped on a nail. I don't.
Here's a very detailed definition. It was some bullshit.
It was a ton of bull.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for the well wishes, people in the chat, for our 50th, the very auspicious 50th episode. Oh my goodness. Well, let me get this set up then. Let me get our comic brought in.
Holy but Jesus! Okay, can I even bring up the script? This is mad.
I can't because my secondary monitor, the cord is still broken, so I can't even pull that up. So you just remind me what I'm supposed to say when we get there. Hang on, let me get my glass bottles. Those should be okay.
if you clink the bottle and the bottle breaks, then we're canceling this whole show.
With the amount of anger I have right now, there's a good percentage chance. Oh my goodness. That both of the, as I was telling the audience, this computer's weird. It doesn't have HDMI ports. It doesn't have VGA ports. It has that weird one that kind of looks like an HDMI, and they snap into place. And boy, they want to snap the hell off if you try to move that thing. Cause I'm like, I got to move it to unplug, replug my LAN. Moved it about 3 inches, and both of them were like, we broke. I'm like, what?
So it's kind of matching our tempo, we move like 3 inches or more. We kind of break too. It's very similar. You got
that right. I'm done with it. New Warriors 50. Enjoy the show, everyone.
Happy beep and fifth.
I don't know if your network's still struggling. You're a little pixelated, but at least you're not.
I know it's not great. I don't know what to do to make it any better. I restarted everything. So
I got a good question in the chat from Auburn Elvis. It said, did I know that Garth Ennis did a 2-issue comic of Hawk the Slayer based on I've seen the film. I did not know that Garth Ennis did a 2-issue Hawk the Slayer. That film actually stars a Felix Leiter actor. The Felix Leiter from Living Daylights plays Hawk the Slayer. It's not bad. I enjoyed the film, but I did not know about the comics. That's a cool bit of trivia there, Auburn Elvis.
I was going to say, I don't remember being in that movie. Wasn't there in that movie.
Not the wrong Felix Leiter.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. I was confused. Jarrod. Well, I mean, you know what? Since I can't get Google going, and I'm like on one bar.
We're gonna just do it live.
We are doing it live. If I hear the bottle start clinking, I will start singing. New Warriors, come out to play. Lord have mercy. We are just gonna the script came up, or I can access the script. Miracle. after like so like we're doing a live recasting of how the Warriors were dispersed in time. We were dispersed in
we were dispersed. That's all you need to know. We were dispersed.
Oh my goodness.
That was a amazing amount of things that could go wrong in a row.
Yeah, for both of us. And you think like we were in the same doggone house.
Oh, I forgot to tell him this part. Delvin texted me as I was writing a text to him. He was like, "Hey, my internet's jacked. Vamp for me." And I was like, my internet is just gone. My computer demanded a reboot, and now it's claiming there's no internet. So we're both like, Anyways, I think I can pull the script up on my phone. So there's that.
I can now pull it up. So that's one thing. If I can start getting normal internet access like I normally get, that would be most good.
Most good.
Most good. Mm-hmm. Wow.
I think I found it. Come out to play 50. I found it. Woo!
Yeah, all right, we are cooking with gas. Maybe by the end of the show, I will have like legitimate internet access and I won't be as pixelated. But you know what? Welcome to Come Out to Play, a New Warriors podcast. If you stood by and waited for us,
you're our kind of people.
You're our kind of people. We truly appreciate it. Hopefully you tell other people who are like the people that waited to like and subscribe to us on YouTube. We would greatly appreciate the following, and because like 99.9% of the shows start on time. Like that, man. Like, trust me, cannot do anything but laugh. I am Delvin Williams. Some people call me the Dark Web. That's Jarrod Albrecht. Some people call him the Yard Sale Artist. Some people call him Stinky Nuts. Okay, that's just me. But
it's all good.
Possibly a few other people, but like he's the Nova to my Night Thrasher. Played a very important role in this book, I might say. But Jarrod, do you have any questions that popped up while you were untangling all of this mess?
Yes. My question for you, and I'm proud of this one.
Okay.
Is we have to create an alternate universe Fantastic Four, and you have to use members of the New Warriors or the New Warriors. Which four are you taking?
Oh, I like that question.
I liked it too when I was thinking about it. I was like, well, let's have some fun with the fact that we have like double the cast, and we've done a sort of cast of New Warriors before, but I was like, let's make an FF in a branched off timeline. Who you pick? And we're listening to people in the chat too.
Man, you gotta get. My first thought is Rage. Rage has
he's kind of like your Ben Grimm. Yeah, he's kind of your Ben Grimm, right? Yeah.
I need some muscles. So you got the muscles in Rage. I want to pit him with Speedball, because Speedball to me would take the place of Johnny Storm. In that, like, there are like almost untapped potential, even though I would say over the course of the Fantastic Four's history that Johnny Storm has done a pretty good job of, being good with his powers. And so, man, but I'm picturing Speedball being more and more confident in his powers. But that leaves, we got to go. I got to go Justice. I got to go Vance. Vance would be my Mr. Fantastic. And I guess that makes Nita, who's fire person, ironically enough, my invisible woman, as it were. Still making a woman the most powerful member of the crew, because like there is no doubt about it. The most powerful member of the Fantastic Four is Sue Richards. Like the things that she can do, and that they've sort of started to untap with her, unlimited potential. It really is literally limited by her imagination. So that would be mine. So I went with two couples of sorts of Rage, Speedball, Firestar, and Justice. Who would you pick?
I'm going to have Nova, be my Ben Grimm. I'm going to have Night Thrasher be my Reed Richards. Pretty much just to upset Auburn Elvis in the chat. My Johnny Storm is going to be Firestar, and my Invisible Woman is going to be Silhouette.
I like that. Say all four again, like without the
like
original Fantastic Four, so I'm confused.
All right. Night Thrasher, Silhouette, Nova, Firestar.
Okay. Yeah.
That's where I'm going. Yeah.
I like that. We got a few answers in our comments. Auburn Elvis said Rage has to be in it because he's the smartest new warrior. I'm pretty sure that's a joke. But sure enough, he said the 90s was not an era that valued intelligence. There you go. I know Auburn Elvis's humor at this point. Matt Possel says Thrash, Speedball, Firestar, and Justice. Eric Porter says Marvel Boy, Nova, Night Thrasher, Firestar, the intended original team. I think I got my internet fully back now.
You look like you're doing better. Then you froze immediately after you said okay, he's back. Okay.
He's back.
We'll see.
Jim Meal says Firestar, Rage, Justice, and of course, Dark Hawk. Okay. Yeah, I like that. You know, I think, and congratulations, Jim. You were the one who used one of the newer New Warriors.
He did. Yeah, I didn't use any of the newer New Warriors.
Me neither. I didn't either. Which is a shame. Actually,
shame. There's a lot to pick from.
Yeah, you got Alex Power sitting right there. Somewhere Rick Heineken is like, and Power Packs is very powerful. So, you know what? But, I already made my picks. I can't unpick the picks. Auburn Elvis then says Rage, Firestar, Marvel Boy, and Speedball. So, it's interesting. Like, I'm not surprised by this, by, like, the followers that we have, that they tend to veer towards the older New Warriors team as opposed to the next 7 that were brought on. And no one, and I mean no one, said Bandit.
I didn't even think Bandit.
I don't know if really anybody thought Bandit, but it's okay. Bless his heart.
Bless your heart, Brandon.
Bless your heart, Brandon. Bless your heart. In any event, Come Out to Play is a chronicling of the 1990 series, The New Warriors. The first volume of New Warriors ran 75 issues. That puts us 2/3 of the way through, Jarrod. I think if my math is correct, that is 38.2%. Math checks. We will cover all of this first volume as I rediscover my love for this series, help others find theirs, and share our love and joy in internet troubles with the listening audience. Grab your skateboards and bucket helmets. It's time to play. The issue we are covering today is New Warriors, issue 50. And the cover credits go, for the last time, to Darick Robertson and Larry Malstead. Jarrod, talk about it.
All right. Your New Warriors cover continues to have its sort of trading card-esque border, although it's not necessarily a border this time, more of a background. What up, Ryan Daly? And the background has the triangle thing going on, streaky oranges and reds to give it a little energy. Across the top, we have Time and Time Again banner number 8. For the longest time, I thought it was a pair of googly eyes, and now I realize it's an 8 turn on the side. I was like, what's with the googly eyes? The New Warriors logo, the triangle is like an aqua-ish blue. The word Warriors is white with red highlights. There's a big banner across the bottom that says Time's Up. And your main action has all the original New Warriors in a hourglass with the sand, of course, filling in, and they're panicking and we can't get out. And that's what's going on. Nifty 50, baby.
What do you think about it?
That's all right. I like it. I like it as the, how we talk about things that happen in the book and representational covers. Like, this is a good representational cover. It's the end of the storyline. The time's closing in. It's very metaphorical. And I'm okay with that. I don't mind a representative cover. I mean, we all like a representative cover, but I don't mind a metaphorical cover when it kind of hits the theme. My bigger bugaboo is when it's just like a really cool drawing of you know, like someone did a really cool drawing of so-and-so on the cover and everything to do with the rest of the book, you know. But hey, I like really cool drawings too. So there's not really a bad side, but for a metaphorical cover, I like it. It doesn't give a lot of space. He really had to cram in all the New Warriors into that tight space, but that's kind of the gig too. Like you want to feel like it's closing in. So overall, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely metaphorical in that the New Warriors were not battling a giant hourglass. That would be very Batman 66. You know, something like that were to occur. So they didn't do that. But I do like that. I mean, there were 14 warriors that they had to choose from. And Darick, you know, as his swan song to the book, went with the original team. Not only just the original team, but also the original team. And all of them are in the new costumes, which Darick Robertson had a hand in designing too. So, and probably Larry as well, if we're being completely credit giving. So, yeah, I like the hourglass. I think it's an original cover. I think it definitely is thematic as to who the Sphinxes represent or what the Sphinxes represent and what the Warriors are doing to fight it. And I love that it's very clear. Like, I don't know this for a fact, but if I had to guess, Darick Robertson's favorite character from the New Warriors to draw is Speedball. That would be my guess. Like, because he's always doing everything he can to put him front and center. There have been plenty of times where, like, I wouldn't say it was unnecessarily so, but it was like, oh, I got an opportunity to put a speedy splash page in there. Bam, 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 bam. And I mean, to his credit, it looked good. they were dang good Speedball covers. So I mean, I give him credit for that. Yeah, like yeah, but I like how all of them were drawn. They even had Firestar in the back, like trying to fly up, trying to maybe find another way out. So plenty to like about the book. And Jim says, let's not forget. He forgot to put the word forget, ironically enough. Let's not forget the glow-in-the-dark effects on the cover. Yeah, like I see it. I don't know if I turned my lights out, if it would glow in the dark or not.
Only one way to find out, Delvin. We're gonna find. Oh, yeah. I think that counts. I can kind of see it.
That's what you get, folks. You get real live, like in the dark action here on Come Out to Play.
Much like Vanilla Ice, turn out the lights and I'll blow.
While you're on a high note, Jarrod, would you like to rate this book on a scale of 1 to 10 nightsticks?
1 to 10 nightsticks. Looking at this here cover, it's not my favorite. And another interesting comment we got from the chat, but you'll probably go into it when you start revealing the numbers that the chat gives. So it's going to be Kathy's comment. It's sort of interesting because she's not the comic person. She doesn't look through it the same eyes as we do. So I find her comment particularly interesting, but I'll let you cover that. I'm going to spoil and tell you I agree with Kathy and I give it a 7. I think it's a 7 and it's cool. Not their best work, but a good metaphorical cover. 7.
You couldn't tell it was an hourglass? Kathy's comment, everyone, was it looks good, but I cannot tell at all that it was an hourglass. I can tell it's an hourglass. There's sand in it. There's a glass.
You know, we are of the trained comic book art eye. You know, her being new to it, I just think is interesting that, you know, she didn't feel that vibe. Fair enough.
Yeah. Let's see. Tony Pennington, I don't believe we said hello to him. Also, hello. Says, I never really liked the cover. There was a lot of wasted space. You didn't rate it, though, Tony. So we would like that. Did anyone else rate? Yes, Matt Postle did. Matt says, good action cover, cool concept. I will give it an 8. And
Albert Elvis agrees. He sees the googly eyes. Once you see the googly eyes, you can't not see the googly eyes.
I don't see googly eyes. I'll look at it again. You know,
it's the yellow 8 that's kind of on its side. It looks up on the banner time and time again, just in the corner of that banner. It looks like sort of like big eyes, like, hey, looking at you. Hey, some people don't see an hourglass.
That's right. Some people see googly eyes. Some people don't see an hourglass. That is how it goes. And Jarrod, how it goes on this show is that he reads the credits for the issue.
I can do that. Give me a second here. My phone went to sleep, but hey, at least I have it. Oh, it's also on my phone. So there we go. Let's talk about New Warriors 50. Its on sale date was June 28th of 1994, which I think is when electricity was invented. Its cover date is August of 1994. Its cover price was $2.95. Come on now.
I don't know. That's kind of spicy for the 90s, baby.
Woo! Yeah, but to be fair, it is an exercised extra. It's a big one. The story is by Fabian Nicieza. The penciler is Darick Robertson. The inker is Larry Malstedt. The colors are Joe Rosas. The letters are Chris Iliopoulos. And the editor is Rob Tokar. And as usual, we use Mike's Amazing World as our reference. And that's an amazing website. Rest in peace, Mike. Now, Delvin. I believe it's synopsis time.
Did I rate the book?
I think you did not. I think you have a little more love for it than I do, and you're going to give it an 8 like Matt Passo did.
I think that's good. I think you're right. I think an 8 is good. I think it's a good cover. Is it his finest? No, it's not. But do I think it's good? Yes. But I absolutely am a homer for Darick Robertson, particularly his New Warriors run. So I'm more than willing and happy to give it an 8. So 8 from me. And now
before we get to that, Kathy said something that makes me see the cover differently. I said the bottom looks like a dome, which it is, with a mushroom and people inside. And I see it now. I see the mushroom sitting on top of the dome. Just like I see the googly eyes.
That is so overactive. I see it, but it's like,
this is the Rorschach test of covers. What do you see in the New Warriors 50? Yeah, I have to agree with Tony Pennington too. I won't go so far as to say it's not a very good cover. These guys are great artists, but I get what he's saying. It's not a very good cover for an important issue. It's important to put that context. Like, yeah, this is 50. This is kind of the end. This is a huge turning point. It's good, but not great. I think we want to grade on this one.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to figure out why the picture now kind of looks like my dad fussing at me when I was 13.
He went right with the Rorschach test joke.
I appreciate you laughing at that. And the title of this book is Till Death Do Us Part, Time and Time Again, Part 8, the finale. While I'm sure that Alan J. Porter has no need to listen to this live stream or the podcast that is put out 6 months later, the New Warriors and the Sphinxes learned that in the end, love is all you need.
Love is all
discussion time. Jarrod is going to talk about the book, and I guess I'm going to talk about the book too. And we're going to bring up some images and talk about it and stuff.
All right. Well, I have 8 images this time. Usually I have about 6 or 7, but hey, it's an exercise book. But as we'll talk about as we go through the images, I usually use images as sort of like key points or beats in the story. This was pretty straightforward. There weren't a ton of like big story turns or twists. It's sort of one big long scene, kind of. But we'll talk about it. I'm going to start with the second page of the book. Interestingly enough, by the way, they broke format and did not do a 2-page spread as the second page, which they've done for like almost ever now. A 2-page spread will appear, and we will talk about it later on. But yeah, this is kind of picking up where we left off. I think last issue with Nova coming in like, I'm back, baby. And what a cool drawing, what high energy, cool moment.
You can't see my arms, but I'm mimicking Nova's arms.
Okay. Yeah, there was a little lag, but now I got you.
There we go. Your voice is coming in laggy, so I'm like, I don't know whether it's Jarrod's that's laggy or is it just my freaking computer that still has decided to do whatever it wants to do. Regardless, it is so they sort of did a different thing where you had the first page was Nova, and it wasn't the double page spread, but they did 2. Actually 3, if you think about it, because you had your cover, first page, and then the second page is what you showed, and then the third page is Sphinx, sort of in his full page glory, you know, showing that, you know, like it's almost like they were doing like, you know, I haven't watched a ton of Pokemon, but it feels like maybe not Pokemon, maybe like a Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, I get it.
So like that's what it kind of came out to, where like, you know, they were both just kind of ramping up their power and getting ready to fight, because, you know, you remember they've been old enemies. They're old foes. This is not the first time that they have fought each other. They used to fight a lot in Nova back in the 70s, I believe. So, yeah.
That's what I heard. Bell bottoms and all. They wore bell bottoms and they fought.
Must have been, he was probably whistling as he flew because of the bell bottoms.
All right, the next page I have selected, it's sort of like picking like everybody's I'm back page. This is Speedball's I'm back page, from like a very Chris Claremontian way to bring him back to like, hey, let's all shoot this machine with our powers. Why not? Speedball's back. Okay, sure, why not? And he gets in, like you said. I think Darick likes to draw him because it's a really cool, you know, Speedball's back page.
There's dude, look at that Darkhawk picture. Look at that. That's awesome.
Oh, right.
Like, I just think, I mean, as we talked like a while back, that, you know, Darick seemed like he was doing an audition sometimes. Like he's just such a great Spider-Man, where it's just like, pick me,
look at me, I'm drawing the Fantastic Four. Look at me.
Right. Look at all that detail I did on them rocks. You think a penciler X would do that? Put me on Fantastic Four, baby. Like, yeah, you could but I guess that's just Darick. And like, I mean, God, that Darkhawk is fire, man. Have you read any of the? You almost have a full run of Darkhawk. Have you read any of them yet?
I am closing in on a full run. A lot of that credit goes to Jim Meal in the chat. He's tracked down a few for me, and closing a few. I honestly, I think I've probably read maybe 2-3 issues. I think you brought one to either a Crusade Miss or a regular long box episode, and I remember we covered that, and maybe 1 or 2 there. But like there no more than a couple, because then I was like, I'm going to get the full run, and then I'm going to read it cover to cover.
Yeah, and that's fair. I was gonna just mention, like, if like the best penciler, I believe, on that original run of Darkhawk was Mike Manley, who started the book, and I think he did it all the way up to issue 25. And I would say, man, if they would have found a way to put Darick on that book, maybe Darick was just ready to move on to other things. Woo, it would have shined. It wasn't, the artwork was never bad, but like, man. Anyway, I also wanted to just mention even Sphinx mentioned it on like a page. He was kind of like, the combined powers that all of you have are massive, and you all aren't using them like you should. The only person that he really complimented on using their powers like even close to their potential was Nova and Firestar. The rest of them, he's like, you're wasting your powers. And you look at Speedball, and I thought you said it was kind of Claremontian, but it kind of made sense, because they're like, how are we going to get him back? It's like, well, Speedball is our basically chronal anchor. And it's like, because he's movement, and movement is time. And I'm like, I understood that. That made a lot of sense. But what it then kind of got to me is like, so theoretically, couldn't Speedball be like very, very fast? Or couldn't he manipulate someone to be very, very slow, since he's in control of all of this kinetic energy? And most of the time, like, his main thing was just bouncing around. And I was just like, I'm just like, man, this seemed like such a great opportunity to just have his power set just be magnified to this crazy degree. And maybe that's something that some writer one day could do if they ever decided to like make Speedball a big thing again, rather than just the bouncy guy. I heard none of that, Jarrod, and like, so I'm assuming the freeze is on my part.
There we go. I think we're back. I think we're all back. I think we're back. Okay.
We are now.
Okay. We can't get enough of this tonight. All right. Anyway, Delvin did a great job of discussing the temporal things around Speedball when last everything was working well.
You can hear me, right, Jarrod?
I do.
Okay.
I do. And I just thought it was dumb. So moving on, what I was trying to do before we lost the audio as well. Auburn Elvis had said Darkhawk is really well drawn in this issue. We're just kind of doing a run on the whole Darkhawk discussion. And Tony Pennington said Darkhawk is awesome. Jim said Darkhawk is great. Kathy
made a comment. Yeah, I don't know if we can read that.
I'm going to read it. She said, I love Darkhawk, but I think she's lying because she doesn't really comment because I think she's trying to be cool and fit in with people in the chat. We're watching you. But hey, there's nothing wrong with loving Darkhawk. All right. Well, this at least we're all back. It looks like everything's working well. Thanks for hanging in there with us, everybody, as nothing goes right. Let's see here. Let's pull up the next page. Maybe that's the key. All right, so the teams finally combine, and they're gonna attack the Sphinx. Got a really cool splash page of them leaping from the building. It's good art. Over to Delvin.
I think that's more than enough, to be honest with you. Yeah, like this was at the point where it was the big reveal, right? Like, finally the entire team is together attacking. For some reason, the page disappeared, Jarrod.
Why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it do whatever it wants to do?
Oh, there it is. Hey, it came back.
I brought it back. I never turned it off. I don't know.
Hey, it's we are rolling with the punches right now. Like I'm seeing your face in stills. Like you'll be here and then you'll stop for a second. Then you kind of come here and like pause for a second. It's really interesting. Anyway, yeah, I do like this page. I wonder, do you remember like Scott O'Neill kept saying that like Derek Robertson, like there's like a splash page that he did that was the best that he ever did. I wonder if this is it.
We'd have to get Scott in the chat. Somebody call Scott O'Neill. Tell him to get in the chat. He probably gave up after we didn't show up, for the first 15 minutes of the episode.
It's highly possible. It's kind of like, like you be sitting there staring at the clock when you were in college waiting on that course. Like, it's 3:08. Cannot blame them. Next page, Jarrod.
All right, everybody soak up that page. That is a cool rakish angle page. That is a good one. All right. The next one, and hopefully it won't just, go away on its own. We get the big Dragon Ball Z power moment.
Yeah.
For Firestar. But like, I've been talking about this since we started this book because I was like, I think clearly Unleashed, she has like the most power, and they were like, oh yeah, we got to clear out an area of at least a mile. We're gonna let her go. Here it comes, and then she gets the big moment, and it doesn't really change anything as the fight goes on. And I'm like, just once could she like decisively win something with this superpower she has? But no, once again, all tease, no delivery.
Man, I'm surprised that you're that disappointed. Like, because there's a couple of, first they did a build up again. It's like, and once again, Thrash called, her, she's the heavy hitter of the team. And so they cleared out, the whole, at least a half-mile berth all around. And she hits the power and it does stun the Sphinx. I mean, and the Sphinx is all but a god. And this is the second time that she's done that in about the last 5 or 6 months, like where Supernova was literally laughing at her, like, who are you? And she's like, I'm Firestar, beep, and freaking knocked him out of orbit. That she was so powerful. So I'm surprised that you feel that like she didn't like use her powers in such a way that it was effective, because she is now stunned not only Supernova, who basically had all of the power of the Xandarian core in one and still knocked him out of the sky. And then she was able to hold Sphinx, who had all the powers of the Costone in his body, and was able to transform him into, or at least render him into a standstill. And I think those are two incredibly powerful displays.
They are, but they're not battle decisive. They change nothing to the outcome of the battle. So I just need to see her pick up a huge W instead of, oh, that was a really good hit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Instead of being commensurate with gods. Okay.
Yeah. She ain't picked up a W from one of these giant moments yet. It's always been like,
I see there is no pleasing you.
I'm just waiting. She has not been the decisive move in a battle yet. And I feel like there's more there. Like, okay.
Smoking the pancake.
There's no pleasing me on this one. I need cut loose Firestar to win the day. Albert Elvis says that Egyptian cancer rates skyrocket 10 years from this moment.
And that was one of the reasons why they had to clear them out. So, okay. I mean, like, I'm definitely, I can't litigate the book, because that's not what we're here for. Like, I mean, you feel how you feel, and I am okay with it. What's the next? Let's see. Was there anything else that I wanted to mention about the book at this point? No, I think we're good.
Next up, we get Torn Shirt Nova saying, I'm down but not out. Big rah, let's get together. Sphinx always finds a way to defeat himself. Something. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad Nova's back again, but this is the book. The story is starting to slide for me on this one. We'll talk about it.
So what I'm reminded of when I saw this picture, this image in particular, you know what it reminded me of? 90s Will Smith. That's what that was.
Gotta have the shirt off, right? That's the part of the contract.
And so, like, when you mentioned at the start of the story that you felt like the whole book was kind of one scene, to me, if I were to equate that to a movie, like an action movie, I would say this is the last 30 minutes or so of an action movie, maybe the last 20 minutes or so. And then, like, they have the calm at the end of it. And they actually ended it after like the big moment hit in this book. And they're going to discuss more next issue. That's what this kind of reminded me of. Like, Nova is kind of like the hunk of the book, as it were. And sure enough, after he had a big role with the Sphinx, like, he came out on the other side of it, mostly intact. So, but that's what this moment reminded me of. Will Smith and Bad Boys.
Yep. I agree. It was cool to see that he was still scrapping it, though. I like Nova's, one of my favorite characters here. So that's cool. And then we finally get to our double page spread, because there I am. Because, Sage showed up to, I don't know, do sagey things. And it's a cool double page spread with all the headshots across the top and the Sage and the Sphinx saying words to each other. So I think they're both at this point inside the Emicron crystal. I'm not positive, but over to
Delvin. So basically, I mean, Sage had an appearance in the original storyline that I'm going to blank on the name of it. I almost said Days of Future Past. That is not the name of it.
It's something like that, though. It's in that vein.
Yeah. Somebody's going to set me right in the comments. So there was, a little bit of that action, and Sage was the one the entire time who was trying to convince Lady Sphinx that, hey, like, what you're doing isn't right. This is not natural. This is not the way of things. And so he made an appearance again here, as you know, the Warriors have fought valiantly and kind of said, okay, I really have to be the one to end this. And I like how he ended it. Forever Yesterday. Thank you, Eric Porter, with the save there. Yeah, I like that. You know, the whole point, and sometimes this happens. Sometimes in the book, you have the build up, and it is like, okay, this big bad guy is very strong. The only way we're going to beat him down is physically destroy him. That was not really the point here. Like, not to me anyway. Like, the point of this was you had the Sphinx, and the whole time, and I feel Fabian framed it well. You had the Sphinx, the male Sphinx, and all he was concerned about, all he's been concerned about really over the course of millennia, is his pursuit of power. And that has kind of led to this self-fulfilling prophecy of defeat over and over again, to where it's like nothing that he would get power sometimes, but he'd lose it. Or he'd get power sometimes and get beaten by someone that he's not, which is almost like he was subconsciously allowing himself to be defeated. And so to me, what Sage kind of finally just shone upon him was like, you've got to pursue more. You have got to want more in life besides just power, because power just isn't going to do it. Like, and you know what? I feel that actually I wouldn't know what metaphor, if any, that Fabian was drawing from back in 1993. I don't know, 93, 94. I have no idea, and I can't make any allusions as such. But I thought there was a line that they kind of said, and it kind of hit me pretty good. And I'll see if I can find it real quick. It says right after this page, actually. Oof, got to take off my glasses for this. Sorry. Says. Now, with the warrior serving as a mirror to his own wanting spirit, when he looks within himself, the man who has called himself the Sphinx, this immortal being who has been an eternal rock of hardened indifference, what does he see? Not nearly as much as 1,000 lives should bring had someone actually chosen to live them rather than endure them. I think that's pretty powerful. And it kind of just speaks to how empty of an existence that the Sphinx lived. And if anything, like the thing that he hated, but eventually wound up admiring with the new warriors, was that they represented something that was just much better than that. Like, all of them had different straits or different circumstances in their lives, but all of them have chosen to fight for something better and to fight for each other. I feel like I've talked a freaking lot. So I
wasn't listening, so that's all right.
You shush it.
In my head, it was the theme to the Gummy Bears cartoon. Gummy Bears bouncing here and there.
This is a good theme song.
It is. Well, all right. Move on to the next page. Second to last. And this is where the power of love, Huey Lewis and the News show up. Power of love unites Sphinx with Lady Sphinx, and all is well. Take it away.
There really isn't anything much to add, other than I do like at the bottom of the page, as the book is sort of drawn to a close, that once again Darick's art choice was to go with the original Warriors, kind of admiring that they had a hand in something pretty special. That's all I got.
Fair enough. And the final page, I think, is the final page. The last hurrah, and Darick's last drawing is, as you mentioned, Speedball.
That's a good one.
It is a good one, and he's asking, what the heck are we going to do with 14 new Warriors, which I bet is the big question that was rattling around in the editorial rooms at Marvel at the time.
Well, I don't know if you remember it ever being a discussion point, but what they were supposed to do was split the team. If like you didn't share page one, and you're not going to be able to view it from my page, but if you see in page one, they had one side that they called the Warriors, and the other side they called the New Warriors. And like, to me, if they would have split off into two different books, then the first book would have been called The Warriors, and this one, the other one would have been called The New Warriors. That was my thought. And I kind of smiled when I saw it, because you're not on the New Warriors Talk page that's on Facebook, but one of the guys, when I mentioned, I was like, why don't they just come back out with the original team of the New Warriors and call them the Warriors? And there was some guy like, nah, that can never happen. That's not anything that they would ever do. And it's like, it's something they've already done. So like, I feel very vindicated about that.
Interesting. But I mean, hey, it worked for the Teen Titans and the New Adventures of the Teen Titans and the New Adventures, and then somewhere around 99 or so, they were just like Titans.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that's a good idea, because there was getting way too many adjectives.
But that's Warriors 50. That's the end of the Time and Time Again storyline. It looks like the Sphinx was not defeated. Just that the male Sphinx finally decided that he should give up his pursuit of power for loftier goals of, maybe love or relationship. And like, as a result, like Muriet, like, she wound up finally getting with someone, or being with someone that she has pursued a lifetime for. So it was a happy ending of sorts, I believe. Not in the, I don't know, not in like the sense of like, well, we knocked out the big bad guy and the big bad guy, was in jail sense, but in the sense that it's like, hey, we don't have to worry about this power hungry being anymore, because they merged, and now they're able to pursue their life of happiness together. So it was an ending.
Indeed. And I suppose with that, if you want to say anything from the chat, or should we roll into Warriors and Warriors?
We can go on to Warriors and Warriors. If you want to in the chat, though, start letting us know who you felt acquitted themselves the best in the book, and who you're worried about the most in the book as well. So did you want to go first, Jarrod, or you wanted me to go first?
I'll go first tonight. My ultimate warrior, I guess, would unfortunately have to be Sage. There was a lot of action scenes build up, but really nothing turns the corner on the battle until Sage shows up, which Sage turned the corner of the battle. So it's got to be Sage for me.
Sage did turn the corner. If I'm going to say warrior, I'm going to go with Speedball. I think that Speedball, he played such an underrated role in the book. And I can see Fabian, he gave himself an out of a sense in the book. And I don't know, you don't get letters pages in Marvel Unlimited, right?
I don't think so. I don't remember seeing them now.
So the letters page, there were, Darick Robertson got to say his goodbyes, his farewells to the book. So did Larry Malstead. Larry Malstead said, hey, this is, I never expected, he kind of even said, I thought this book might be done in a year, but I was wrong. Fabian had a great product here. I was grateful to be a part of it, and I loved it. But I'm bowing out too. I don't know if Fabian himself were done after issue 50, or in essence, you get what I'm saying? Because he wrote a little something in there with Speedball, and Speedball came back as like, there's something important that I was supposed to remember, but I can't recall it. Mm-hmm. And we've kind of talked about that in the book, where he was supposed to maybe realize that he had died all those years ago. But like, this opened the door again, because he's like, I don't remember what happened. So like, that was just interesting. But if it weren't for Speedball, none of the Warriors, with the exception of Nova, would have ever been able to come back. So I give it to Speedy. Who are you worried about, Jarrod?
And not a lot of people to be worried about at the end of this one, to be honest with you. It's sort of a feel-good conclusion. I don't feel like anybody's in any peril or any danger. I guess I'm worried about who the new penciler is going to be. We'll find out. What's his name? Pace? Is that right?
Richard Pace is his name.
Yeah, I've seen some of his stuff. He's a good artist. So yeah, I'll be interested to see his take.
Yeah, and I'll be interested to see what your take is as well. I've kind of talked a little bit about it, how I personally wasn't the craziest about Richard's style, but you know what? Like, I have the beholder, and I always caveat that to say I can't draw for ish. So, like, when I offer my critique there, it clearly is just my own personal preference, and I'm not speaking overall to that man's talents. Auburn Elvis gave the Ultimate Warrior to Nova. Matt Paso says, Warrior, the original team returning, Warrior, the building needing to house 8 billion new members. Let's see. Eric Porter says, I agree. Upon closer look, it definitely looks like googly eyes.
I love a bring back joke.
Let's see. And is there anything else? Auburn Elvis says, worried about whoever has to clean up downtown Cairo after this mess. Don't worry. A lot of it was like, the Cairo that Sphinx created. So a lot of it just got washed away. To quote, dang it, what's that movie? Soggy Bottom Boys. Anyway.
Oh, brother, we're out though.
Thank you. Oh, brother, where are they? Eric Porter, one more before we go to ratings. Says Warrior, Nova, and Firestar tied. Nova because it's his villain, and Firestar because she gets to unleash her powers. I didn't give a Warrior. If anything, I'm worried about I'm worried about the direction of the book. I know that's kind of an out there one. Did my voice change by any chance? Did it get louder?
No, I never seen it.
Guess it's just in my earphones. This is just a wonderful day for tech era. If anything, I'm worried about the direction of the team. I'm so interested in, again, it's not even like a great question to ask Fabian, but I want to ask so bad. It's like, what? Give me some tea, dude. What happened? Like, because I get the feeling that he was all but done after this issue, but he went 4 more issues before he said his final goodbye, because this would have been a good send-off in a way, right? Like, Darick Robertson left, Larry Mall set up. That's the penciler, that's the inker. Like, both of them said adios. So I'm surprised that this would have been a great opportunity for Fabian to say, hey, swan song as well. So I don't know. I'm worried at this point about the direction of the book, even though I vaguely remember the direction it takes. There were some times that it just got super, super interesting. And as I'll repeat one more time, this book is a Nova book to me. Like, it really, the first 25 were a Night Thrasher-centric book. But to me, if you were to summarize who got the most character development overall, I think it's Nova. But just keep that in mind as we continue through the last 25.
I guess I can talk a little bit of spoilers, because the only person we're not trying to spoil is me. On this show. Seems like everybody in the chat is well versed, and I'm the guy who's coming in last. And I was looking at the issues. I was cleaning off an end table, the issues that I do have, some of the later ones, as I was cleaning off this table the other day, and I noticed. So I spoiled for myself, but like, there's a strong run of later issues that are very spider oriented, and I was like, that's odd, but I get it and I'm interested. But I was like, so I spoiled that a little bit myself. I was just like, man, they were really leaning into the Spider-Verse with Ben Reilly in it at that point.
If you notice, I don't know if you did or not,
I can bring that page up.
The last page, there's a little Spidey emblem behind Speedball. One of the things that, like, what they did in this part of the 90s is that they divided Marvel into like houses. And so there was kind of like a house of Spidey, and they placed the new Warriors in the house of Spidey.
So makes sense. I see.
So, like, I mean, and sure enough, around this time, like the Warriors. Oh, that's where Larry Malstead went, by the way. Larry Malstead went to the Amazing Spider-Man. And he's like, I can't turn that down.
That's an upgrade. Flagship title? Yeah, why not?
Yeah, he said Mark Bagley asked me to join him over at Amazing Spider-Man, and I said yes. And it's like, I can't blame you. Much as I love the Warriors, I cannot blame them one bit for that. But yeah, the New Warriors book as a whole or title was a part of the Spider-Man family. So that's not giving away too much, other than I'll say this, I absolutely loved when Ben Reilly was a part of the New Warriors.
I'm looking forward to it.
Wish that he could have stayed longer. Absolutely. Okay. But we're not rambling. We're still talking Warriors, so that's good. Let's see. Did I miss any? Eric Porter also added that the Warrior was hindsight lab because there's no way he makes the cut on the new team.
Somehow he survived that whole battle.
Right, because no one was paying attention to him, but he did do some brain power stuff in the book. He did do some behind the scenes stuff in the book, and he was kind of Fabian's exposition guy of explaining, some of the Marvel pseudoscience that was going on. So I could dig it. In any event, let's wrap it up by rating the book 1 through 10. New Warriors 50. Please rate it in the comments as well. What you thought about the issue. Humoristically, I'm giving it a 10. And let me tell you, like that let me caveat that, like, normally I would give it 7 or 8. I'm giving it a 10 because it was the end of a great run for Darick Robertson, and I want to give him a little bit of credit. It was the end of an era for Fabian and Larry and Darick all together, and I thought that was dang good as well. So absolutely, humoristically, I'm giving it a 10. Matt Passo gave it an 8. Tony Pennington gave it a 7. I'm interested to see where Jarrod is. I heard some Mcron going on there, and then
I finished the book.
I would give impassioned please, and Jarrod was like, "All right."
Yeah, this one didn't light me up, man. This was very Claremontian, and it was like, oh, we got all these, all the teams are here. We got all this power and Firestar's unleashing, and none of it matters until Sage shows up and goes, yeah, you've lived a very hollow life. And he's like, word. And he was like, word. And then she was like, I still want to get with you. And he was like, word. She was like, word. I have not been overwhelmed by any Sphinx storyline since we started. I'm more happy to see this go than anything. I mean, like you said, though, it was really cool art, and it's not awful. I mean, I finished it. Like the Mcron issue of X-Men, I literally did not finish. Gave it a 1, called it a day, so I'm not reading this anymore. I made it through, and I think the art does a lot to carry it. I will land on a 6. I just feel like, the one thing I've learned from doing this show is the very sort of commonplace thought is like the first 2 years, the first 24, 25 issues is the best New Warriors. And I have to agree right now. Like there's a lot of stuff in that era that I liked better. I wasn't so big on the Sphinx storyline there either. I think what I'm trying to say is every time I feel like Fabian is trying to channel or kind of be like Chris Claremont, it just doesn't work as well for me. And it does feel like he's literally, I mean, he used the Days of Future Past timeline, right? It feels like there's a heavy influence there. And why wouldn't you be, by one of the most successful writers, team writers, especially of the 80s? I think when he has his own voice and he's having fun, that's where he shines the best. This arc, I already, it's had its ups and downs. It hasn't been particularly fun because we've talked at length about Justice just getting beaten down at every moment. But in the end, I'll give it a passable 6. It's not my favorite, but I am more excited to see what's next than I was about this story arc.
And I'm not. Cyanex is coming back. Remember
that's
that?
Right. I think I saw that on one of those covers I was talking about when I was cleaning off that end table. I said, "Oh, there's Cyanex."
Other than that, like, put it this way, I can't even remember who gets shredded out again into the team. So I'll be interested in reading 51, but I'm getting ahead of myself. I read everything. Matt and Tony's. Auburn Elvis gave it eyes looking. I don't. That's oh, there we go.
So
got it. Now I'm tracking.
It's an 8 on its side.
Now I'm tracking. I got you. An 8. Okay, cool. Well, in that case, first of all, everyone, thank you for your patience, because this has been a mofo of a show. Like, and it's crazy because like that both of us, me and here in Charlotte and Jarrod and Enterprise, Alabama, and like this has never happened, but we made it through it. That's the important thing. And I appreciate our patience, and I appreciate your patience in sticking along with us and sticking along with us for the ride for 50 of these.
50.
Like thank you so much. Like I am so really just grateful for all of you, and so just thank you for sticking with us and being a part of this little small thing that we do, my personal little love project for a series that I love so much, and we're going to continue to get through the rest of the run. We got 25 issues to go, and there are definitely going to be some good spots in there. I remember a good battle with Namor coming up. You know what? I don't want to
I like me some Namor. I like that.
You're gonna see some more Namor. That is a promise. I tell you that. Some dire rates coming up and everything. But again, I'm getting ahead of myself. Come back and join us for the next episode where we discuss New Warriors 51, where the New Warriors begin anew. Who stays and who goes? LONGBOX Crusade. Look us up on social media. You'll find us there. Like we're around somewhere. We're on a place that we need to be. Tell us about it. But for now, X, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all the podcatchers that you can go to, LONGBOX Crusade, you can find us. I believe you can check out Come Out to Play as its own separate feed. Is that correct, Jarrod? Do you know that or not?
If that's true, then it's news to me.
I'm not sure. Try and look up Come Out to Play by itself. You might be able to find it on its own separate feed, but if not, it's a part of the LONGBOX Crusade.
Definitely
feed.
Part of the LONGBOX feed.
Definitely. And you can definitely join our Patreon club, our Crusaders Club, at only $1 a month, and subscribe to us on YouTube as well. We have both recorded and live content there, even old school email, contact@longboxcrusade.com, even older school. We got a voice message that you can leave us, a voice message on. And oh my goodness, I've even forgotten the number, 707-532-5269 and 707-532-LBOX.
Get up to work so we can pick up the phone.
Yeah, because for this one, we picked up the dial-up. That's the Tetris noise, Jarrod. Tell us
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm paying.
Tell us where you can be found. How about that?
All right. Well, I'll tell people where I can be found. Everyone in the chat, guess how many F words I used when I was trying to get my computer stuff to work tonight, and I'll let you know who gets the closest. I am at Yard Sale Artist on X, Facebook, and Instagram. Yeah, that's it. That's me.
Yeah. I am Blue Sky, DEERAY 1977 Instagram and Threads at Delvin Ray. Once again, thank you all. Hooray for us for getting to 50. 51 starts next month. Already looking forward to it. See you all next time. And remember, be a hero to someone, even if it's just to yourself. Hopefully, Jarrod's picking up some bottles right about now and clinking. Once I hear the noise, I will sing New Warriors. Come out to play.
And whoever gets the highest number in the chat wins, which is Matt Passo at 54.
Have a good effing night, everyone.
See y'all.